Hey fellas, Snorkel MMA here, and welcome to my predictions for UFC Fight Night Walker vs Zhang, taking place in Shanghai. So this is actually a pretty good card, a really good fight night, I'd say. The main card is actually really good. We got like Segei Pavlovich in there, Waldo versus Waldo, Cortes-Acosta, Aljo versus the Eagle, Brian Ortega, Johnny Walker versus Mingyang. So the main card, like the last three cards, the last three fights on the main card, and just the main card in general was really good. So yeah, there's timestamps in the description if you guys want to skip to the main card. If you're not super hardcore and are just watching the prelims and shit. So yeah, but I'm going to go for the full card. Starting with this first card, first the prelim opener. Dlyar Nurgozhay versus Uran Satybaldiev. I remember this Dlyar's Contender Series fight was really good. But I think they both lost in their UFC debut. I'm going to go Uran here. He is the favorite, minus 300 favorite, and he just has like a better regional record than this DR guy. Like Uran was in the LFA with like a winning record, and also in his UFC debut he lost to Martin Buday, which that's Martin Buday is really good. It's fucking cringe that he got cut, and the DR guys only fought in like random Russian promotions. So yeah, I just think Uran's a more solid pick here. I'm going to be going by decision too. Okay, moving down to Rongzhu versus Su Yong-yu. So the Su Yong-yu guy is minus 140 slight favorite. I'm going to be picking him. Rongzhu had a really impressive performance in his last fight. It's like a really cool, aggressive performance where like he wore the guy down eventually and like got a really cool looking KO. But I think the Su Yong-yu guy is just like more technical on the feet. I could see him like this Rongzhu guy is really aggressive. I could see him like finding an entry like like Lerone Murphy on the weekend, that fight where Aaron Pico was just super aggressive and just like entering really recklessly, and I could see Yong finding like a flying knee or just getting like a really good like check hook counter and knocking this guy out. Or I could see him just using Rongzhu's aggressiveness against him and just taking him down and controlling him. But yeah, I think it will be a decision, and I'm gonna go Su Yong-yu by decision. Okay, next up we've got Yizha versus Westin Wilson. Yizha is the minus 1500 favorite. I don't know about that. I don't think Yizha looked that impressive, but Westin Wilson does just look kind of a bit shit. These guys are both submission specialists with 14 and 12 subs. Yizha has 14 and Westin Wilson has 12. Yizha does look like the better mixed martial artist. Like, Westin Wilson does look pretty goofy on his feet. Like, whenever it's on the feet, it just looks pretty, not good. And then his wrestling is also pretty shit. So he's kind of just like a jiu-jitsu one trick that hasn't really transitioned to MMA that well. Whereas I think Yizha is like actually, he's transitioned his jiu-jitsu into MMA way better. And he's younger, so he's younger, so he's able to, become a mixed martial artist. And I think he's like the way better mixed martial artist than Westin Wilson. Yeah, I think Yizha sub round one I'm going to be picking, but I don't know, 1500 is kind of crazy, bro. Okay, moving down to Michel Pereira versus Kyle Daukaus. It's funny, like, I was legit, like, I was going on a walk a few days ago, and I was legit thinking, what the fuck happened to Kyle Daukaus? I know he's a bigger brother than the heavyweight, the Cup. I know that he got cut because he lost a lot, but I feel like Kyle Daukaus didn't really lose that much, and he just got cut. But then I saw this, I looked him up, and he's actually the CFFC Cage Fury middleweight champion with 2 defenses, so he's going on a good run outside of the UFC. Like, Cage Fury is pretty legit org. It's probably like just below LFA. But yeah, he worked his way back, and they gave him like this crazy hard matchup. It's like they did not give him any favors here. Yeah, I'm gonna go Michel Pereira by KO round 1. I really want Daukaus to win. Like, I like Daukaus, and I think it's kind of sad that he works his way up and he has to fight this really bad matchup. Because I feel like Daukaus, he takes a while to like get into the fight. I feel like round 1's like his most dangerous round. Michel Pereira is obviously like a round 1 he's like a round 1 guy. I do think if it gets to like rounds 2 and 3, I think Kyle Daukaus could win round 2 and 3, just Michel Pereira gassing out. I think Kyle Daukaus might be able to get him down in rounds 2 and 3. Like, I think Michel Pereira won't be gassed in round 2, but if Daukaus gets him down in round 2 and controls him, then I think Michel Pereira will be gassed as fucking round 3. But I think Michel Pereira is just going to KO him in round 1 here. It's just because Kyle Daukaus, his last two UFC fights, he got finished in round 1 like early. So yeah, this is like a kind of like a clip farm matchup for Michel Pereira. I don't know why they do my boy Kyle like this, man. Okay, moving down to Rongzhu versus Austin Hubbard. Rongzhu's the minus 290 favorite here. To be honest, Austin Hubbard has lost some pretty close split decisions in like his last few fights. I feel like all of his last few. I looked it up. Yeah, his last few fights they've been split decisions, and yeah, I think he won a few of them, honestly. But yeah, I do think Rongzhu's just way better than Hubbard on the feet. Like, on the feet, he's just so much better. I feel like he's going to be, like, gapping him on the feet. Just like leg kicks and, like, jabs and, like, long, rangey stuff. But I could see Hubbard, like, you know, pressuring him, getting him against the fence, maybe, like, wearing him down on the fence, getting him down. I think that it will be a close fight. Actually, I think Hubbard, it might even go to another split decision. But I feel like, yeah, Hubbard might be able to get him down. And he might be able to control him for a bit of the rounds. But I think whenever it's on the feet, Rongzhu is just going to be doing a lot more damage than Hubbard. And I don't feel like if Hubbard gets him down, he's not going to be doing much damage on the ground. So it's going to be more of a case of, like, damage winning the fight, even though Hubbard has a decent amount of control time. And I do think Rongzhu will be able to get up once Hubbard takes him down. And he will be able to, like, push off the fence and shit. But I do think Hubbard will score some control time here. And I think it will go to a decision. I don't think Rongzhu is going to finish him. So yeah, I'm going to go Rongzhu decision. Okay, this is a cool matchup. Lona Kavanagh versus Charles Johnson in a G. Yeah, Lona Kavanagh is the moderate favorite, minus 215. I think Lona is he's like more slick on the feet, faster, and he'll be able to get more strikes off than Johnson. I do think Johnson does hit a little bit harder than Kavanagh. Kavanagh's kind of like a bit of a pity patter of shots, but he's super fucking fast. So yeah, I feel like on the feet, Kavanagh will be pulling away with an advantage, but I do think Charles Johnson is better at mixing in the grappling than Lona Kavanagh. But I do think Kavanagh's takedown defense and get-ups are really fucking good from what I've seen. So I do think Kavanagh's going to get this, but again, I think this is going to be close. I feel like Charles Johnson will be mixing in the grappling more than Lona Kavanagh. But I don't think he'll be doing it super effectively, and I think when it is on the feet, Kavanagh is just going to be pulling ahead with significant strikes. I think, like, you know, it'll be like, he'll have like 40 strikes, so like Johnson's like 20 type shit. Like, he'll be like doubling him in significant strikes, even though Johnson's hitting him a little bit harder, and he's like mixing it up. I think it'll be very close. I could honestly see Charles Johnson getting this, but I do think Lona Kavanagh's just a bit too fast for him on the feet. I think it'll be similar to Joshua Van, where except he won't pull out the third round like KO, where he's just like, you know, he's behind, and maybe he will, because he is a dog, Charles Johnson. Maybe he'll win the third round by like getting a takedown, or maybe like dropping Kavanagh and then following him down to the ground. But I think Kavanagh won't get finished because, you know, yeah, I feel like, yeah, it will be a close fight this, but I've got Lona Kavanagh winning it. Okay, moving down to Maheshate versus Zhang. So Zhang's the slight favorite here, and I'm actually going to pick the underdog with Maheshate here. I think he's just more experienced in the UFC. You know, he's actually beat some pretty good guys. Like, Zhang lost his UFC debut. They look pretty similar in skill, but I think that Maheshate, you know, he just has more experience in the UFC. He has more experience in general, despite them being the same age. So yeah, I'm just going to bank on the experience here and go for the underdog with Maheshate by decision. Okay, moving on to... Bro, what the fuck is that name? Taiyilake Nueraji versus Kiefer Crosbie. The Nueraji guy is minus 340 moderate favorite. This is his first fight in the UFC. He didn't even go for UFC. He just had like a pretty impressive regional run, I guess, and they're just putting him straight in there. I really usually don't pick guys that are just going into the UFC because I feel like they always get fucking fraud checked. But this is a pretty layup fight. I think this is kind of like a setup to get like a big crouch pop from the regional China guy, like clip farming KO, because I think Kiefer Crosbie's shite, bro. He had a losing Bellator record, and he goes in the UFC, and he's just lost all of his fights by, like, I think he lost both of his fights in round one. Maybe one was round one was the start of round two. Yeah, I think this is a clip farm moment. I really do not rate Kiefer Crosbie, bro. And I think Nueraji's going to get it by KO round one. Okay, moving down to Sumudaerji versus Kevin Borjas. Sumudaerji is the slight favorite here. I'm going to be picking the underdog again here and going Kevin Borjas. I just feel like he looks better. He looks like bigger. I think Sumudaerji is a little bit faster, but I feel like, you know, just the extra range is going to make it so Kevin Borjas to get shots off easier. And if you go by their record, Sumudaerji, he's lost to Tim Elliott and Matt Schnell. Like, I know Tim Elliott just had a big win, but come on, bro. Tim Elliott is not him. And Matt Schnell, who the fuck loses to Matt Schnell in this day and age? Whereas Borjas, he's only lost to two guys. I can't remember who was the one guy he lost to. He lost to one really good guy, and then he lost to a kind of like not that good of a guy. But yeah, I'm going to go underdog here. Okay, moving down to Sergey Pavlovich versus Waldo Cortes-Acosta. Sergey Pavlovich is the minus 255 moderate favorite. Bro, why can I see Waldo winning this? I really don't like Waldo Cortes-Acosta, man. I hate his like fucking barely doing anything and then emote spamming at range game. I don't know, but if Sergey Pavlovich loses this, it's like really like one of the biggest fallouts of all time. He just looks so much more timid since he got KO'd by Tom Aspinall. He just never commits to shots anymore. He just plays it way too safe. And I feel like his biggest advantage is just getting in a gunfight and just knocking the guy out. That's like the best thing he does. I can honestly see Acosta, because I feel like Acosta actually has pretty underrated head movement and foot movement. I feel like his movement's his biggest strength. Like, he's pretty fucking good at moving around and just avoiding shots. And he's good at, like, getting, like, 1 or 2 shots off and then just moving back at range and emoting. That's what he always fucking does, and it pisses me off. I just really hope it doesn't happen. But I think that Cortes... I feel like Pavlovich is going to get him. He's going to get him round 1. I feel like he's going to get, like, a big shot. I feel like he's going to get a big shot that he doesn't have to commit that much to. It's just going to be like a really like organic shot. Like, he's not going to overextend or anything. But yeah, I just see him knocking him out round 1. And I could see Pavlovich winning this by decision as well, just by like, you know, getting like dropping him 1 or 2 rounds, and then, you know, maybe Cortes is up in significant strikes, but Pavlovich is like landing the bigger shots, and it's like Waldo is not up enough in significant strikes to like bridge the gap between the big damaging shots that Pavlovich is landing. I hope that happens, but I could see a Cortes-Acosta just like leg kick jabbing and just like running away and just like fucking emoting and getting a win somehow. I just hope it doesn't happen, because I like Pavlovich and I really don't like Waldo Cortes-Acosta. But yeah, I'm going to be picking... I think Pavlovich will find his chin round 1. Okay, moving down to the co-main, which is apparently a 5-rounder co-main. It's Brian Ortega versus Aljamain Sterling. So Aljo's coming as a -305 moderate favorite. I think this, if you're going to, on the feet, I think Ortega's a little bit slicker, with his boxing especially. I feel like he's like way slicker, a little bit fast. I think he'll land more shots than Aljo on the feet. But I do think Aljo does have the power advantage. I could see him like mixing in some funky stuff, but I do think this is going to be like mostly a grappling match. And I think I'm going to give the edge to Aljo here, because I feel like Aljo's wrestling is just so much better than Ortega's. So I think that the person that's going to be getting the takedowns is going to be Aljo. And whether, you know, you're supposed to go by damage-based or whatever, the judges love when you're the one that gets the takedown. And I think takedown should count towards something, even in a damage-based scoring system. So I think Aljo's going to be one that's getting it on the ground every round. And I think that Aljo's going to be, like, almost like, you know, blanket him. Like, you know, he's going to do the comes out special and just, like, blanket him, not really give Ortega much space to throw up submissions. He's going to be, like, really heavy on him. And he's going to, like, if he might just do that all 3 rounds. He might just be really heavy and just like camp like side control, and then maybe he'll try and get the back. I feel like the only time that Aljo is going to be actually throwing up submissions is if he's on the back, because that's like his specialty, you know, he's like the backpack. So yeah, I think that he's going to play it super safe, super heavy blanket style, so Ortega can't throw up submissions. And then maybe if he somehow gets like a really safe way to the back, like Ortega just gives him like transition to the back, then I think he'll start, you know, looking for chokes and shit. But I don't think he'll get it. I think we're the type of fight where, you know, Ortega's just always pushing it down like that the whole time, just losing control time. So yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty boring fight, but I think it'll be more entertaining than you know, DDP comes out, because Ortega, every time Ortega gets a little bit of space, I feel like he'll be like, oh shit, he could throw up a sub here. So I think it will be quite a cool grappling match. But I feel like stand-up fans are going to be fucking hate this match. It's going to be like, you know, like the Movsar fight. But I like the Movsar fight, you know. I feel like Aljo's grappling is really entertaining, and so is Ortega's. So yeah, but I think Aljo's wrestling is going to be too strong, and Ortega's not going to have enough space to actually throw up submissions. Oh god, here we go, the main event. Why the fuck would they give Johnny Walker this matchup? You know, Johnny Walker, he's actually only lost twice by KO in a row. Like I think he's lost 4 times by KO in total in the UFC. But I don't know, for some reason I thought that he was on like a 3-4 KO loss streak in a row. So, you know, that's not as bad as I thought. But yeah, obviously, Walker is just chinny as fuck, and Mingyang is like a round 1 KO specialist. I feel like they've really set this matchup up for like a clip farm. It's like another KO clip farm they're setting up, like a highlight reel moment. I honestly could see Walker playing this smart, maybe mixing in the grappling, or just like, you know, using leg kicks, jabs, circling, really using his like. Because I do think Walker has a bit better footwork and he's a little bit faster than Mingyang. So if he plays it super smart and really avoids trading, and, you know, every time Mingyang tries to trade, like he just like grabs like, you know, like a body lock and tries to get him against the fence or something. If he plays like really pussy, I could see Walker getting this done. But I just don't think Walker fights like that, bro. He always goes in close and trades. And I think Mingyang I think he's just going to knock him out round 1. I would like to see Johnny Walker win this and go on like a bit of a run, But I think to win this, it's really going to go against what his style usually is. Like, he can't trade at all, and he has to play really safe and, like, mix in grappling. I don't know. I can just almost see Zhang just fucking getting... We're just getting another Johnny Walker chicken dance, like, goofy-ass moment where, like, he, like, gets knocked out like a cartoon character. I can just see it happen. That's what they're trying to set up, and I think they're going to get it, bro. I just don't see Johnny Walker staying disciplined enough to avoid getting in danger. And I feel like if he gets in danger, if he gets in, like, you know, the pocket with Mangyang Zhang, he's going to knock him out, bro. Walker's chin's fucked. So yeah, I'm going to go Mangyang Zhang KO round 1, but I could see Walker doing it. I could see it, but I just don't think so. I think it's way more likely that Zhang just KOs him. Okay, guys, that's all from me. Yeah, this is going to be cool. It's actually going to be playing at nighttime where I am. Like, usually I have to get up at like 8 a.m. to watch fights, but it's actually going to be starting, like, the main card starts at 8, so I'm going to be actually watching this at night for, like, a very rare time. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm going to be uploading a recap, and I'm going to, like, go over how many picks I got right, so stay tuned for that, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.